Hi, it's Ashley Martineau, and today we are going to knit a hat and take a hike up Cascade Head on the Oregon coast. These are the needles that I have. I know these needles are good for knitting a hat because they're small enough I can use them for a baby hat or for an adult hat. I'm making a slip knot, casting on, knitting, and binding off. And that's all you do to make a hat. So the way we're going to do a slip knot, so put the two strands together and pinch them with your fingers, twist it around once, and then put your fingers through and grab this yarn and then pull down with this. And that's how you do a slip knot. Take that slip knot and you're going to put it through one of your needles. It doesn't matter which one you do. Put it on my needle, and then I'm going to pull this long yarn that's connected to my ball, and it'll get all tight there. So that's my first stitch. You just cast it on a first stitch. Now I'm going to cast on 40 stitches to make a baby or child hat. I'm going to take the yarn, I'm going to twist it, and I'm going to put it on the needle, and then I'm going to pull this long strand that's connected to the ball. So I'm going to do this 40 times. I'm going to take the yarn, I'm going to twist it, put it on the needle, and pull. Take the yarn, twist it, put it on the needle, and pull. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So now I have 40 stitches on my needles. It looks kind of like a tangled mess, so I'm going to show you how to organize it. You put your two needles together so that your circular needles make a loop, and then you're going to take, we have the top of the stitch and the bottom of the stitch is this bump, and we're going to take these stitches and spread them all the way from the tip of one needle to the other. Or it may look all twisted around like this, where you have the tops of stitches on the top and the bottom of stitches. Take your time to figure out and get the bottoms all lined up. The bottom is this bump here. So just take your time. There's the bottom. And there. Now when I look at it, I can see clearly that I have stitches all the way around with the bottoms of the stitches in the center. This needle through this one, like that. And then I have this long yarn that's connected to the ball of yarn. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it between the two stitches. And then this is the hardest part, is taking this needle down through like this and pulling that stitch up and around, and then you pull it off that needle. So I'm going to do that a couple times. Put the needle behind, pull the yarn around, take the needle down, and then pull that stitch off. And I'll show you a couple different angles of that. So then underneath, the needle pulls that stitch through and off. Back, around, under, and across. And as you're knitting these stitches, you'll find that these are bunching up and you're running out and these are spreading out. So take some time to just kind of push the stitches around so that you've got the next ones ready to be knit. Make sure you get all of the yarn. Make sure you don't put the needle through the yarn. Make sure you get all of the yarn on that needle. Bring the yarn around, put it under and over. And if you notice, I have all of this really close together. My needles stay close together. My hands are close together. Even when I'm holding on to this yarn, I don't have more than an inch. I'm not holding it way back here. Everything's nice and tight. And as you're knitting, make sure, see how this is the top and this little bump is the bottom? Make sure that you don't accidentally twist your yarn. If you see a stitch coming across, make it correct. That way, if you knit into that stitch, that's an accidental increase. So just make sure that your stitches stay on the needles the right way, in the right direction. The most difficult row when you're knitting is the first row. This row that I'm knitting is the hardest. Once you knit, see it's all spreading out. Just gonna bring some more over. Like that. This doesn't matter. We'll get to that when we get to that. Right now I'm only focusing on these stitches coming up, and then I can spread these out. Put your needle through, bring the yarn around, bring it under and over. And I also use my fingers to guide the tips of the needles. Sometimes I'll press this needle down and help it with my fingers, and then I'll press this needle out. That way I don't drop the stitch. This style of knitting is called American knitting. There's another style called continental knitting, and you may see other videos where the yarn is held in this hand. And that's not how I learned. There's no right or wrong way to knit. Different people are comfortable with different styles. Now I'm at the first stitch where I started, so I knit into that one. And what you do is you keep doing that same thing over and over and over for every stitch. So I'm at the beginning and I just keep going. And this is what I'm going to be doing on my hike. Is just like this. Put it in, bring it around, down and under, into the next one. And you can see if I pull it apart, there's my first row. When you knit a hat like this, the bottom will naturally curve up, which I'm fine with. And now we're gonna start our hike. I made a new yarn holder. I tucked my shirt in and things over. So I've got this much done, so I'm almost done. So now I'm at the top of Cascade Head, and it's so beautiful. And I'm also at the end of my hat. I'd say that's about 7 inches or so. When you decide you're done, you knit a stitch normally, and then you put your needle through the stitch behind and piggyback it over. Knit, and it's like leapfrog. So I'm going to do that all the way around the hat, and when you're doing, you can see this is where we're binding off. Knit and leapfrog. So we're almost to the end. Last one. There we go. You'll notice there's probably a gap between this stitch and the next one, and we'll fix that when we finish the hat. So here's a loop. I'm just going to bring this loop up, and I'm going to take this yarn, put it through the loop, and pull it tight. So that is our hat. Now there's 2 ways I can finish this hat. I could sew yarn through all of these and make a square hat, or I can sew yarn along the top like this and make a tri-corner hat. Making stuff in nature connects you with nature more. The trees are making leaves, and the leaves are making oxygen, and the birds are making nests, and the mountains are making streams, and I'm making a hat.